Hey up guys, it's Kyle here and welcome to my thoughts on InFamous Second Son. Now the new character Delson Rowe, I'm not too sure about using someone new, although the ending of InFamous 2 did sort of insinuate that it was Cole's time, he was done. But unfortunately, I kinda really liked Cole, but taking him out as a character, I'm not too sure if that's a good move or a bad move, just as long as they maybe mention Cole or some of the previous characters. Well, unless it's a prequel, of course. If it is a prequel, then I guess you can't really do that. But the guy sort of seems like a rebel, and I hope he's not too cocky that he becomes unlikable. Now his brother, Reggie, I feel he will play the role of Zeke, or a character such as Zeke, in the previous games. Except, I guess he'll be a lot friendlier, because he's your brother and all. So, that's all I've got to say about him. There's not too much about him. He's obviously a police officer, or something of that caliber. He seems sort of like a role model, at times. Now let's talk about his new powers. I'm not too sure what they are. They kind of seem like a fire or maybe an atom splitting type power. Because a lot of the moves he sort of divides himself or blinks around a lot. And at some point he seems to like melt a soldier's face off, which is pretty awesome. Now hopefully this will be an entirely new style of play, with maybe some throwbacks to the older games, as there is a section in the video where he shoots out of his hands, just like Cole used to do with the electric bolts. Now hopefully they'll do something like that, where you can sort of do maybe a hover move, just to do it as they kind of showed a little bit of hover going on. Hopefully there are some small throwbacks to the older games, just to sort of give it to the Infamous fans that, you know, this is an Infamous game and this is where the roots came from. Now let's talk about the engine. And the engine of the game looks exactly the same as the previous games, well, albeit with the obviously new graphics and stuff. I actually saw a small part of the gameplay during the Sony conference pre-show, and I instantaneously knew it was an Infamous game, purely because of the movement of the character. It's very similar to how Cole moved. I mean, not to say that's a bad thing, because Cole was very fluid and the controls were great. Now the graphics, to say this is going to be one of the first games to come out on the PS4, the graphics are phenomenal. The emotions in like the characters' faces, and just how everything in the world looks is absolutely fantastic. Now I'm sure the game is going to have tons of stuff going on like all at once, and it'll probably be an absolute visual spectacle. So my final thoughts on Infamous Second Son are that I think it'll be a great addition to the Infamous series, and as long as the characters are like really solid and really likable, or I guess dislikable if they're a bad guy or something, well that's, you know, something you'd come to expect. I mean, everything just from the small trailer that was shown in like the E3 conference, it just says to me that this is going to be a powerful game. But unfortunately, the game is said to come out early 2014, so we still have quite a bit of while to wait for it. But in my opinion, it's going to be well worth it.